got a closing on a Friday, all right, but maybe it doesn't go on record until Monday. What are you doing for folks that may be like temporarily homeless for a weekend and
Yeah,
you
so
got their pots and pans in their clothes? Have you dealt with
oh,
that?
we deal with that actually a lot, Greg. And actually, I think it's coming up more and more now. A few years back, it was, I say a few years, probably 10, 15 years ago, that was something that we were seeing some of, right? Staggered closings. But back then, I don't want to say there was more trust, maybe, but the market was different, right? So
Gotcha.
you didn't necessarily have to have something on record because the person who was selling the home and the person who was buying the home had a verbal agreement. They got the lawyers and everybody involved.
Gotcha.
We just signed the documents, just move in. It's okay.
Here's the keys. We
Right.
trust you.
Right. Here's the key. This was, again, 10, 12, 15 years ago. There was no issue with that. Now you need insurance on the property. Now you want to make sure that that property, when you're walking onto the property, is covered for the old homeowner. God forbid something happens in that 12-hour window and your belongings are in there. Well, was it your issue that the belongings were brought in? God forbid something happens, there's damage at the home. That property is still in limbo if it's not on record. So now we're seeing it a lot more where buyers and sellers are not having the ability to go right into the property. So, like you said, maybe it's a Friday 2 o'clock closing. Can't get it on the record until Monday at the town. Insurance is bound but not in place until it's on record at the town. Now all of a sudden, yes, you own the home, you have a key, but realistically, you shouldn't go in. Can't go in. So those are the things where on a Friday we come out, we make sure your belongings are loaded safely. If it is a immediate Monday, it's going right on our truck, staying on our truck. We can back it into one of our two buildings, depending on where you're located. The trucks that we have, full-size moving trucks. Luckily, we have the buildings where not only is your stuff locked and secured on a truck, it's then backed into one of our warehouses where it stays locked up until it's ready to go out. Normally, anything more than 2 or 3 days, it's more efficient to offload it temporarily into a holding zone at one of our two storage facilities for cost effective.
Yeah.
So if it's a last minute, oh no, they didn't tell me I was going to have a staggered closet, they didn't know, then we can flex and we can make it work. It can stay on the truck, it could come in, we could do whatever is needed. But if you know this going into it, we can work over every option that you have, whether it's a 2-3 day time frame, if it's a week. We have seen it now where it's going on a little bit past a week. They're closing on the home, then they're having the flooring companies come in, they're having the painters come in. So now, originally it was staggered closing, now it's staggered closing. But you know what? Wait, the moving company has my stuff. Let them hold on to it for another week. Let's get some of these projects that we wanted done before the stuff comes. So even at that, we're seeing things just change slightly, not as dramatic as it sounds as we're going. But we are seeing that more and more. Clients, new home buyers, they're investing into it almost immediately as they're going in. The freshen ups, the cleanups.
Yeah.
So to me, those are the things that it is perfect when the house is empty. That way you don't have to stumble over your new furniture. Or flooring companies, we do this all the time where we're going in, moving the product off-site, so their belongings off-site, floors are getting redone, we're coming back 3-4 days later, bringing it back in. Well, you can minimize that cost if you do it all up front. So multiple different options on it, but we can only give all those options if we know what's going on. Last minute, if again you're at your first closing and you're finding out then, and the truck is already at your house loading, still have a few options, but they're a little bit more limited to what we could do up front if we knew about it.